OG. Now let's talk about UFL as an esport and why the skill gap makes it not only a fun game for anyone who plays, but why it makes UFL a prime candidate for an esport versus EAFC, which, in my opinion and many's opinion, and really by the viewership, their opinion, EFC has been a failure. So the bottom line is EAFC, it was a promising idea and one that I personally, as a longtime EAFC player, love because as a competitor, a former real life football player, it was a chance for me to still compete. So it gave me a way to play the game with a purpose and continue practicing, trying to get better with the aim of being the best I could be and just seeing how close I could get to these top players in the world. But largely due to the direction the game went, there wasn't much of a skill gap. It was more of watching the best players in the world at exploiting the glitches, the best players in the world at finding the meta and exploiting that meta. And many people don't want to watch that because play the game's already stressful enough. Why do you just want to watch people doing all these things that you can't stand, no matter how good they are at them, right? Nonetheless, because I love football games and because I am a competitor, I would follow EAFC and what's now called FC Pro. And not only did many of their decisions not make much sense, but let's put that aside and just say the watch itself, right? The quality of what you were watching. It's nonsense. And that is because there is no skill gap in EAFC. It is literally who can exploit the glitches the best. Okay, now let's go to UFL. Right off the bat, as I said previously, the passing, the spacing, in the first iteration of UFL, it gives it a real football feel, much more than EAFC. Even with the kinks and the certain glitches that any video game at the beginning stage is going to have, even with that, the foundation with the ability to go end to end, use different formations, to have to defend, to have to find passing lanes and create ways to score goals, especially against another quality opponent. It makes the game not only fun to play, but it makes it fun to watch because there is a skill gap there. Okay? Going back to the formations, what do you notice in EAFC? You can only use the meta formations. So as an esport, you're constantly watching the 1, 2, 3 even formations that can be viable in a competitive atmosphere. You can't use the rest because you can't compete. You need to use the formations that allow you to exploit the glitches, and there's only a few in EAFC. UFL, every formation is viable, whether it's a 3-back, a 5-back, whether you want to play a narrow formation, a wide formation. All these different elements of the game can be used, and there is a way to create a skill gap with each of these formations, how you play the game, right? Do you choose to do quick tiki-taki passing down the middle? Do you choose to get a more aerial present forward to head balls in? Do you choose to get a more agile striker and try to beat the defense? Do you aim to have a strong midfield that can bang away long shots, right? Do you go for a strong defensive unit and try to hit teams on the counterattack? Right off the bat, all of these are available in UFL. And again, as I said previously as well, the game is only going to get better. But right off the bat, because there is proper spacing, because passing as a foundation is there in the game, and because there isn't this meta that creates just a few formations viable, it creates an exciting watch, right? People want to see how these different top players play, and that's why I feel UFL is going to be a top candidate for an exciting and successful esport. And I truly think that it's going to help the game grow once they finally introduce UFL as an esport and create viewership, create more interest in the game. And I think more and more people will see through that as another avenue that UFL is the proper choice when choosing a football game to play. And I think it's going to give EAFC even more of a reason to fear UFL. So Once again, I urge you to join UFL and give it a try for yourself, but I just want to go over how excited I am because I think UFL is going to be a great esport. Sorry for the cracking voice, but thank you again for watching.